Stratumn is a company that's building technologies that allow companies to better collaborate. So we've built a protocol called Proof of Process, and Proof of Process gives companies the tools to better collaborate with their partners, their clients, and regulators. And Proof of Process does this by leveraging blockchain technology, cryptography, and peer-to-peer networks, and assembles those technologies in a way that we can deploy them in consortium networks where multiple companies need to collaborate. I think that there are many complementary aspects between what Stratumn is doing and what Bonitasoft is doing. So Stratumn is really working at the low level, at the low network level. So essentially, we build network technologies that are meant to operate under IT systems, so under front-end and back-end systems that companies would normally have. And so where Bonita brings an awful lot of value in what we're doing is that Bonita has all of the process management, so the BPM aspect, right, for creating a process and managing how different entities interact with that process, but also the really powerful user interface tools that go with it. So, if we were to deploy some sort of a system to manage a process, Bonita has all that experience and all that know-how in the BPM world and building the applications for it, whereas what we're building and what we provide is the underlying traceability, authenticity, and integrity of data layer that will allow for multiple entities to collaborate on a process and really trust a single source of truth when it comes to data. Stratumn is building on consortium blockchain software. So what this means is that we deploy blockchains for companies that are meant to collaborate together. And so these networks are essentially sort of semi-private networks where the entities that are in these networks are known to each other. And so this introduces a whole lot of different dynamics from, say, public blockchains where entities that interact with these systems are unknown to each other. So this really changes the dynamic in terms of the economics incentives that are meant to secure these blockchains, but also just simply the technologies that are implemented. So for something like a public blockchain, we would rely on consensus algorithms such as mining, whereas with a consortium blockchain, such as the ones that we deploy, we can rely on very, very simple consensus mechanisms that don't require, say, energy usage or something like that. We can simply rely on signatures from the known participants. In terms of scalability, we're also hitting scalability numbers that are far, far higher than what we see in a public network. And this is simply because we're operating at a much reduced scale, right? So with far fewer actors and with technologies that are really meant for high scalability, right? So like hundreds or perhaps thousands of transactions hitting the blockchain per second. So companies that we work with are interested in adding traceability and data authenticity to their processes. So for instance, we work in the insurance space with some of our partners and our investors that are insurers. And we recently announced a project where we work with 14 insurance companies in France to streamline and automate regulated processes with regards to customer mobility, for instance. So in France, there's this new law called La Loi Hamon, and Loi Hamon essentially allows you as a policyholder to very easily change insurance companies. And so insurance companies today use things like registered mail to do this, whereas if we move to digitized processes, what we're introducing is a platform upon which these insurance companies can interact with each other by simply exchanging messages on a blockchain platform. And the value in this is that the data is exchanged in real time. We have traceability, real-time traceability on who did what at what time and what order, through digital signatures, through the timestamp mechanism essentially that is the blockchain. And so what this allows is you can build sort of industry-wide networks where processes can now be automated, streamlined, and like customer mobility is just the beginning. There are all types of other sorts of applications and other types of processes where companies need some sort of a homogeneous platform to interact, and this is what we hope to achieve in the insurance space.